Jack, thanks for stopping by for a few minutes. We talked to Eric Wedge. That was wonderful. And I wanted to get a sense from you now about heading into this spring training. We know what happened last year. We're all familiar with that. We've got a lot of young people coming in. How do you balance fan expectation with the fact that you're going to be playing a lot of young guys in a lot of positions?
Well, I mean, it is what it is right now. I mean, I said 2 years ago when I was given this job that, you know, we're going to build this system from the ground up. And I think this year we're going to start to see some of that happening. You know, there'll be points in time this year when some of these young kids were very talented, you know, will take their lumps and bumps. You know, the other issue is we brought in some veteran guys that I think can complement, you know, what we have. And we're trying to create an atmosphere of competition in spring training. You know, and it'd be nice if the kids were on the team at the beginning of the year, but again, you know, there's no guarantees. You know, and any young guy that rolls into spring training technically for the first time and try to make his mark, you know, has to prove himself. So, you know, we'll look at it, we'll balance it out, you know, and if they're ready at the beginning, great. You know, if it takes a couple months, then, you know, go to Tacoma and get seasoned.
And I assume that your bosses, the Mariner ownership, are satisfied that this is going to take some time and instant results are not on the, I mean, you know, sure, if you get lucky, but, you know, this is going to take some patience.
Yeah, you know, and I think this, as I said, we've been trying to do this, build this thing all along, and I think that, you know, you look at a lot of the moves we made, even though we went out and traded some players, signed some players, we still were getting young players back in return. So, you know, last year was such a disappointing year. We had so many players that had underachieving years. We had some exceptional years, you know, Felix being one, Ichiro being another. But the reality of it is we are where we are. You know, we've got a plan in place. It's been in place for a couple years, and we're going to start to see the fruits of our labor this year. And I think, you know, in my opinion, I think that the places I've been, when I was with the Mets many years ago, when I was with Milwaukee, I was with Pittsburgh, and you saw those young guys come up through the system, it gives something for the fans to identify with. Hey, these are our guys. They came through our system. They've heard about them, and they'll get a chance to cheer for them and root for them.
I think two players that intrigue most of the fan base are Smoke and Ackley. And I wanted to see if you could wrap up with just a couple of thoughts about their progress and what you see as how soon they are going to be with the big club.
Yeah, again, you know, we'll see what happens in spring training, but, you know, in Justin's case, he came to us in a trade, and I remember saying to Howard and Chuck, you know, at the time of the deal, you know, we may send him to AAA, you know, because he was ahead of schedule. He was on a first base club. You know, he had some moments there, but for the most part, he struggled a little bit. But, you know, we gave him his opportunity, and when we sent him down, he was disappointed. But I can tell you, after he went down, he came back, he was a different player. And, you know, he got back to who he is. You know, he's a guy that has power, he has strike zone discipline. He's going to be a good player. Should he make the club at the beginning of spring training? I think he should, but again, that's up to him. And Dustin is a very talented guy who's been playing a position for a little over a year. You know, he switched from the outfield to first base to second base. We think he's a guy that's going to be a fixture for us for years to come. It all gets down to timing. You know, is he ready at the beginning of the year? Maybe. If he's not, then, you know, 2 months or 3 months or whatever it takes in Tacoma is not the end of the world.
All right, very good. Jack Zduriencik, general manager of the Seattle Mariners, taking a few minutes here at the Sports Star of the Year banquet to chat up the prospects. It's only, what, 3 weeks for pitchers and catchers. It's upon us. Jack, thank you for stopping by.